Hi, today I wanted to share with you 3 exercises that can help improve your lower body circulation and reduce swelling. These are the very exercises I had to do for a week after my hip replacement. They seemed so simple that I didn't think they were going to do much. But after doing them twice a day for 5 days, I started to notice a big difference. I would highly recommend doing them in the morning once your feet come onto the floor after sleeping. And I think you will notice that you're more able to move and the stiffness that you might have gotten while sleeping will disappear. So let's get started. We're going to start simply with our feet in front of us. Now these can also be done in the chair because sometimes I just did them in the chair. And all we're going to do is point our toes and hold it about 3 seconds and flex our toes up. And point our toes down and flex them back up. And point our toes down and flex them back up. We need to do approximately 10 of these. And like I said, I did them often through the day, but a minimum of twice a day. So maybe you'll do them in the morning and then the afternoon, even at bedtime. Keep going. Give them a little push, but no pain, and lift them up. They're really going to be increasing the circulation in the ankles, the feet, and the backs of the knees. Let's do 2 more. Good, the next one, we're simply going to extend our leg a little bit comfortably and then press down with the back of your knee. But be careful, I don't want you to press so hard that you're locking that knee because that can cause some after effects of stiffness or swelling. Just enough that you feel your quad tighten up and you feel your knee working. This is really getting into the quad, the knee, and even the calf. And again, we're going to do about 10 of them. Stay with me. Pretty simple, right? Let's do 4 more. I think that'll give us 10. 4, and I put a little hold in there, and 3, and 2, and 1. Then we'll change legs and repeat that. A little press. So you see the quad, you can see the quad is tightening up. And around the knee it's tightening up. And I feel it in the calf. And again, there's a little hold at the press, but don't press it so hard that you're locking it. You're just giving it a little straightening. Let's do 5 more. Press it back and hold it a little bit and release it. 4th one and release it. 2 more. And the last one, very simple, are glute squeezes. So we're just going to squeeze our glutes. Again, just a gentle squeeze. I mean, overdoing any exercise can cause injury. And again, we're doing 10 of them. And they are very simple, but with consistency, and that's the key, doing them twice a day, every day for a week, or when you get out of bed in the morning, you should see improvement in any lack of circulation or stiffness in your legs or swelling. If you do have swelling, and I'm still squeezing about 10 of these, I highly recommend laying down and elevating your legs for a bit. I did do that several times a day, and that helped a great deal with the swelling. So let's do 4 more, and 3 more, and a little squeeze, 2 more, and 1. Very easy, right? So they didn't cause injury, and like I said, after about the 5th day, swelling started to go down. Then the next week we changed it up a little bit. So let me share those with you in part 2. So instead of doing these in the chair, we did them on the bed, lying flat. We're going right back to the toe points, where we point our feet and hold it a bit and flex them up. And point our feet and flex them up. Again, we're simply going to do 10 of these. And again, so easy, but after doing the second week's exercises, even more improvement. You just have to be patient and consistent. So let's say we have 5 more. So we're going to do 5. Stretch those toes forward. 4. Pull them back towards your eyebrows. 3, but not with any pain. Just go to before any pain. 2. And 1. Good. We're going to bend our knees a little bit, and this was to increase a little bit of range of motion and get some stiffness out of the hip joint. We're simply going to raise this leg up and pull it in. Not too far. Stretch it out again, not too far. We're just going to pull it in to where we feel we're at our limit for range of motion and stretch it out and pull it in. Now, when we first started, I only did about 4 of them, and that was plenty. But having done them every day, and that's where you see the improvement, I have gone to about 7, and probably next week I'll start to go a little bit more of them. But this really seemed to bring back some range of motion in that hip and loosen it up. And likewise on the other one, we're going to bring it in and stretch it out and bring it in and stretch it out and bring it in and stretch it out. Now, believe it or not, this is not the hip replacement, but I'm hearing a little crack in my back. It doesn't hurt, but it tells me, okay, that might be enough on that side, because we don't want to push it and end up in pain. Then we're going back to the leg presses, but 2 at a time, where we press back with our knees against the pillow and release. And press back and release. And press back and release. And again, don't lock them. Just a gentle press into the pillow. And a little hold on the press, about 3 seconds. And we're going to do 10 of them. Again, when you wake up in the morning, these set of exercises would be great to just jump start the lower body. Let's do 4 more. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. The next one is a little more difficult. You're going to slide your both feet in hands at your side, and you're going to simply raise both legs. Now, in the beginning, that was very hard for me. And then I learned to support my core to protect my back. And this is one you wouldn't want to do a whole lot of because it is a little strenuous on your lower back. We're just trying to get a little core strength and knee flexibility. Your body will tell you how many to do. In the beginning, I only did 2. And I definitely don't think more than 10 is necessary. And down. Pretty simple, right? But then we went to a chair, or you can do these at your kitchen counter. So go find a chair or your counter and we'll finish this part 2. Now we're going to continue on with part 2 of my hip rehab exercises. Again, they're so simple, but every day I felt stronger, and these I did 1 to 2 times a day. It started simply with calf raises and down. Just straight legs up and down. And we've done these in classes and other videos. So they're not that hard, but they are wonderful for strengthening the ankles, the calves, the knees. And I do feel it a little bit in my hamstrings and quads. And we're simply going to do 10 of them. Remember to try to keep good posture, which the hip replacement has helped me not to be so rounded because that hip isn't pulling on me now. I can stand up straighter with ease. So I'm excited about that. And down. So about 10 of those and down. Then we're simply going to do what he called a mini squat. I just call it simply a plie. But that's to straighten our knees, strengthen our knees, strengthen our quads, you can feel it, the calves, the ankles. And again, simply just 10 of them. So let's do 4 more. 4. Stand up tall. 3. And 2. And 1. Now we're going to simply march. And the first few times my marches were quite low, just where they were comfortable. And then as time went on, I could lift that leg and hip a little higher. I'm not actually lifting the hip, but it's coming through the hip. I count them and do approximately, let's say, 17 sets to 20 sets. But in the beginning, I only did maybe 10 sets of marches. So do them where you're comfortable. Then we're going back to the calf raises, 10 of them, up nice and tall. Talk about easy. But they kept them easy, as I said in my previous video, as to avoid no scar tissue in there or tendinitis that would slow the progress down. So sometimes a lighter touch is great. And let's do 3 more and 2 more and 1 more. Back into the plies. Taking it slow sometimes is a challenge, especially if you're used to being active. But stay the course, be consistent and optimistic, and things should improve. And you might not feel benefits the first few times, but after several days, you should start to feel stronger in the lower body. So let's just do 2 more and 1 more. I didn't repeat the marches, but we're going to come around and have a seat. because the next one is your regular push out of the chair. If you have handles on your chair, that's even better. Just make sure it's a sturdy chair. And when we started, he didn't even have me go all the way up, just part way up, because that's working my knees and my quads. And as I was starting to say, I only did 3 or 4 when we started, but now I want to be stronger upon rising up and taking off. So I added a few more each week, but don't overdo it. So let's do 1 more. And then you can add on to those as you're feeling that you need to in order to get stronger. Now, what we're going to do is feet a little bit in front and simple leg extensions. This was probably the most painful for me to do. So it was a little discouraging in the beginning, but just by doing 2 a day, it was just amazing how soon that hip got stronger and released. So again, start off with just a few and add on. Change to the other leg. Again, keep your posture. Can you believe just these simple exercises have brought me back to being mobile and given me hope that my new hip is going to progress and get stronger and stronger, because I will be adding in some hip strengtheners as I feel that the hip is ready. So do these, like I said, just to improve your circulation, strengthen your lower body, reduce swelling, and keep on keeping on. Here's to feeling good.